Welcome to Dev Dive In, and today we're going to cover 5 things that you need to know before learning web development. Whether you're embarking on a career change, launching your own project, or exploring a digital landscape, this video is tailor-made for you. Like a suit, but for your brain. Let's dive in. In learning web development, there are 2 paths you can choose: self-taught versus formal education. Both have their pros and cons. Self-taught learning offers flexibility and cost-effectiveness, but it can lack structure and sometimes requires more self-discipline. With all the resources on the internet, it's really easy to find information on any given topic, but it's also more difficult to know what you need to learn. Formal education provides structured learning and credibility, but comes with a substantial cost and a long time commitment. To make the right choice, consider your learning style, available resources, time commitment, and long-term career goals. It's all about finding your perfect balance. First, you need to know what a stack is. There are 3 in web development. There's front-end, back-end, and full stack, which is a combination of the 2. When a user interacts with your site, they're interacting with the front end. This primarily happens in the browser. Back-end, on the other hand, happens on the servers. This is where the business logic happens. So if you order something online, the backend would handle things like saving your order to a database or payment processing. If you think of the front end like a knife and fork, the back end would be the meat and potatoes. So why would you pick one over the other? Most of what a front end developer does is take a design and make it interactive. So if you're more of a creative person, possibly more visual, like drawing or animation, front end might be of interest to you. For backends, they're given a set of requirements that really outlines what they need to build. And from there, they build the application logic that is outlined. So if you like things like problem solving, math, logic, backend might be of interest. Full stack, once again, is a combination of both. Typically with full stack, you might have an easier time finding a job because you're a little more flexible in what you can do. That being said, there's a lot more to learn because you have to learn both front end and back end. I know what you're thinking. Which one pays the most? Well, both front end and back end, you can make decent living in both. Typically, the top end for back end is higher than front end, just because major corporations are willing to spend more money to ensure that the servers are up and can support a large user base. For most beginners, there are 3 languages that they start learning first. There's HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. These are the building blocks for rendering any website within a browser. HTML is the content, CSS is how that content looks, and JavaScript makes it interactive. There's a plethora of programming languages on the back end. To name a few, there is JavaScript, Java, Python, and Go. It's important to learn the concepts instead of the languages themselves. You'll find that companies use different languages, so when you switch jobs, it's important for you to be able to pick up different languages quickly. I think a common misconception with beginners is that you would be creating a lot of web pages from scratch. Realistically, you're going to spend more time in someone else's code or a project that has existed for a long time, and you're going to have to go in and figure it out. It's worth taking a positive outlook on problem solving and debugging because you're going to be doing a lot of it. Crushing bugs is a great feeling. It's kind of like solving that Rubik's Cube that's been sitting on your desk for the last 5 years. To get started in development, first you need the tools. You'll need a text editor where you'll do most of your coding. Right now, probably the most popular text editor is VS Code. These are generally called IDEs for Integrated Development Environment. I would definitely take a good chunk of your time to learn your IDE. It's like a lumberjack sharpening their axe before they have to cut down a tree. So be sure to know all the ins and outs, the keyboard shortcuts, and really customize it to the way you like it. So that is my top 5 things that beginners need to know before learning web development. One little extra piece of advice I can give for the self-taught people is pick a goal and work towards it. What I found worked best for me was to create a habit out of learning web development. This really applies for anything in life. If you rely on willpower, you're less likely to do it consistently. So it's best to create a system where willpower isn't a factor. And that's it. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. We'll be posting new videos soon, so stay tuned. And thanks for watching.